What's going on, everyone? Paul Baroza back for yet another NBA Finals video recap. Back after Game 5, sitting in my room. My roommate Steve's across the hall. It's in his room. He's a CrossFitter, so probably want to come messing with him. It's getting kind of late. Usually like to prolong these intros a little bit longer, but I have to get up and leave for work at 9 o'clock in the morning, so let's get into it. The Cavaliers prevail 112-97. Kyrie Irving and LeBron explode for a combined 82 points to prolong the series and send the Cavs back to Cleveland with a chance to force a Game 7. And there's nowhere else to start in this game than Kyrie Irving. When Irving is on, he is absolutely one of the most electric offensive players in the league, and that was evident in absolutely full force tonight. He scored 41 points, super efficient, 24 shots, made 5 threes to go along with 6 assists. And he pretty much did everything. Made shots over Curry, made shots over Thompson, defended, pull-up jumpers, threes, got to the hoop. Irving did everything, but I think if you're Golden State, you're okay to live with that. Irving likes to pound the ball a lot, and when he's really flowing like he was tonight, it kind of gets Cleveland out of their offense. Obviously, when he's flowing like he did tonight, it also doesn't really matter. But I think that the effect that his dribbling has on the rest of Cleveland's roster was evident. J.R. Smith finished 3 for 9. Love finished 1 for 5, and only 5 shots is a pretty significant amount for Love, considering that with Green out, he should have theoretically been able to play a bigger role. Thompson was 1 for 3. Really, the only other player on Cleveland's roster who got into a rhythm was LeBron James. And in my opinion, LeBron was really the key to the victory tonight. Obviously, 41 points. Wasn't quite as efficient as Irving from the floor, but he finished with 16 rebounds and 7 assists. And it was really his defensive impact that I thought was outstanding. He protected the rim a couple times really, really well in the Cavs small lineups when he played at the 5. He was all over everybody off the ball. And when he hits his jumper like he did tonight, it allows him to get ahead of his steam as he gets to the basket. And when LeBron can start getting to the basket whenever he wants it, and when he can start going downhill, he becomes the hardest player in the NBA to stop, just because of how big he is, how physical he is, and how good of a finisher he is. I do think, however, that the reason LeBron was able to get in such a good flow for the first time really in this series mostly had to do with Green being out. I've always been a huge Green fan. We played against him in high school, so I've really watched his career since he was 16 or 17 years old. And nobody's enjoyed his rise to stardom in the NBA more than I have. But really what Golden State loses when they lose Green isn't anything that he provides statistically or the things that he does. It's what his uniqueness allows Golden State to do. They don't really have anybody that can provide the same kind of traits he has with being able to play at the 5 and stretch the floor and pass the ball. And that's really borne out in the statistics in the series. I haven't seen the numbers from tonight. Obviously, they're probably going to be worse, but I'm going to read this for a second. But in the 85 minutes Green has played at center in the games 1 through 4, the Warriors had a net rating, which is a measure of the point differential per 100 possessions, of plus 30. And they've outscored the Cavaliers by 54 points. That's over the games 1 through 4. Against any other lineup, the Cavs have outscored the Warriors. Golden State is minus 18 in the 16 minutes Green played at power forward with another center. Minus 1 in the 17 minutes when he played at center, or when the Golden State played, or when a Golden State played with a center and not Green. And minus 3 in the 8 minutes the Warriors played with no Green or no center in the series. And the reason the stats look like that is because Green's ability to play the 5 and switch on any defender is the key to the Warriors' death lineup defense. Bogut and Ezeli are both really good defenders, but neither of them can come up as far in the pick and roll, which allows Irving and James to get shots off whenever they want. They can't recover as fast, and they can't switch onto anybody. And that makes everything else more complicated for everybody else on the backside. When Green can switch onto any single player, pick and rolls all of a sudden don't mean anything against Golden State because they can just switch them. And unless you have a post behemoth who can back down and really take advantage of a mismatch against Thompson or somebody else, which very few of those players exist in the league, that those switches make it so hard for you to operate on offense. And that was the biggest thing Golden State lost tonight. Kurt went through 5 different centers. He tried Bogut and Ezeli. Speights got some time in the first half, and he can shoot, but he can't do anything defensively against starter-heavy units. Varejao got some time, but he's basically useless except for being able to draw a couple fouls. And not surprisingly, Kerr tried McAdoo at the 5. Theoretically, he's the only person that can play the 5 in their team other than Green who can switch like Green. But he was so bad that lineup lasted less than a minute. And then Kerr went to an all-small lineup with Barnes playing at the 5, Iguodala at the 4, Thompson, Curry, and Livingston. And I thought that looked okay, but that was also the time when Irving got really hot, so it's kind of hard to judge. The lineups really finished with a massively negative point differential. I don't know if that was 100% indicative of how it played. I thought it battled on the boards. It didn't give up maybe 1 or 2 offensive boards in the pretty extended time that it was in. But I would be surprised if Golden State goes back to that a whole lot going forward with Green back. Basically, with Green out, everything is easier for the Cavaliers. The centers, as I said, drop off pick and rolls more, and LeBron and Kyrie are able to step into pull-up jump shots and get into the lane a lot easier. Golden State adjusted by going under on all of LeBron's screens, but I thought the Cavs did a nice thing. They just started setting the screens lower, and basically as LeBron came off of one, he could turn into a 18-foot pull-up jump shot. And with the way he was hitting his jump shot today, Golden State had to switch it up and come around those more than when he got down there, or switch them, and the switches didn't work either. Then also on defense, Green, he's a limited offensive player for the Warriors, but he can shoot enough to keep defenses honest, and he's a great passer. And when he's so good at defense like he is, those skills then become incredibly important because he's not giving up anything on the defensive end like most other players that could provide his same offensive traits do. Bogut can pass, maybe not quite as well as Green, but he can pass well. But he's incredibly slow, and he is scared of contact near the rim. Ezeli can finish near the rim, but he can't pass at all, and he's toast if he has to take if he has to take a dribble at all. And Speights can shoot, but he can't do anything else, and then he's just so bad defensively, he's almost unplayable against starting lineups. And for the Cavs, that makes everything so much more succinct with how you do things. Kevin Love is all of a sudden considerably more playable. You have another player you can basically hide people out on because neither Bogut or Ezeli or Speights is going to be able to really exploit you. And I mean, that's pretty much the gist of the game, I thought. I mean, Kerr flipped from center to center to center to try to find something that worked and couldn't find it. And though Thompson was able to keep the Warriors afloat with that stellar first half, 27 in the first half, finished with 38 in the game, as he slowed down, Golden State's chances slowly did. And as they continued not to be able to find a way to stop Irving and James, and as Irving continued to make contested pull-up shot after contested pull-up shot. I don't think a lot of his shots in the second half were necessarily that good of shots. That's another reason why I think Golden State's going to live with those shots. But when he's making them, you're also going to live with the fact that you're probably going to lose. But mostly, I assume what the big thing from this game is, how does this loss affect the rest of the series for Golden State? And I don't think at all. When Green comes back, the problems that existed, or the problems that he causes, will still exist for the Cavs. And with Irving dribbling 15 seconds possession, if he's going to beat you, you're going to live with that. It gets the Cavaliers completely out of their funk when he starts, or completely out of their rhythm when he starts pounding the ball a lot. Nobody else gets involved, and other than LeBron James, I don't see the Cavs just having quite enough to compete over the last couple games. Statistically, most teams don't win Game 6 on the road to close it out. So I guess there's probably a better chance that we meet again after Game 6, readying for a Game 7. But with Green back in the fold, the Warriors, in my opinion, are just, I think, too good and too balanced and too deep for the Cavaliers to beat 3 times in a row, regardless if one of the games comes with or without Draymond Green. That's everything I got tonight. See you after Game 6. Barbarossa out.